Guys, what is going on? Well, my elbow slipped on the little armrest on my seat here, but I'm okay. But guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 back up here once again for another live review. This time we are up here to review WWE 205 Live. Well, that's WWE 205. I hate it as WWE Raw, WWE SmackDown, WWE 205 Live. No, even though of course it says, of course, in the title of the video, but to me, again, way off topic. Anyways, welcome once again, guys, to my live review of 205 Live, the March 26, 2019 edition that, like SmackDown, of course, took place in, Uncasville, Connecticut, if I can't pronounce that name correct. Well, Uncasville, of course, Connecticut, I got down right. But, of course, I said in my SmackDown review, I was never able to pronounce Connecticut. I used to always think it was called Connecticut. But, Connecticut. I'm just so strange. But, yeah, we're in Connecticut tonight. Random place, don't know where the heck it is, but that's where we're at. Overall, not a bad show this week. I mean, definitely not as strong as the past couple shows getting us ready for WrestleMania. We did have a nice little, segment, though, to prepare us for WrestleMania, even though I'm still not 100% sure what the dynamic is exactly going into WrestleMania. But, of course, we will see, when that happens. But not a bad show. Also, definitely start with dig deeper into some other storylines and, a little interesting little twist at the end. Kind of a surprise. Someone else making their mark on 205 Live, and then apparently they're here to stay. Recently, they were, of course, in the 205 Live championship tournament to be number one contender, which was a surprise. Like, didn't see these guys more as, a tag team, star. But, he did something tonight. Kind of makes me wonder, what are we going to do with him? And, of course, all I got to say is, you took away my dream. We'll, of course, get into that, of course, later on, but that's one of my newest sayings now. You took away my dream. Anyways, because anybody who has hurt my feelings in the past, you took away my dream. But let's get right into 205 Live and see what we got here for this week's episode. We open up, of course, with the usual hype with us getting hyped for, the action tonight. Starting off with a 6-man tag team match. It was the Lucha House Party's Kalisto, Gran Metalik, and Lindsay Dorado, of course, get into the dual segment. It's Lucha time, they said, which is much better than it's we're doing some Lucha things. God damn it. Or whatnot. But it's Lucha time. Speaking of which, my uncle your week was to see he vends at different events in the city. One time when Raw or something that was in Pittsburgh, and it was the Lucha House Party, they're going Lucha. He's like, who are those Lucha people? So I'm not just saying Lucha because I have an aunt named that, but yeah, Lucha. It's Lucha time, but get out of the way. But they're taking on the team of Drew Gulak, Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Once they were called the Submission Commission, but I'm not sure if that's still what they're called. But taking on them two, and also with them was Humberto Carrillo. Continuing to play on the storyline of Gallagher and Gulak are obviously just trying to be the guys to try to take Humberto Carrillo underneath their wing, even though they're trying to just tone him down. Because I'm sure, of course, they both feel threatened by Carrillo's existence, just surpassed him, whatnot, but also because Drake Maverick did even bother to take any of his their suggestions for which cruiserweights he should be adding to the cruiserweight roster this year, of course, also. So it's kind of playing along the storyline. And I thought this was actually a pretty fun 6-man tag match for the most part. There was some I like, of course, the triple moonsaults with each of the members of the Lucha House Party doing moonsaults at once, coming out, jumping off over the top rope and whatnot. But it's Smash to tell a storyline. It seemed for most of the match, Drew Gulak and Gentleman Jack Gallagher were taking, their spots in the match. And yes, they were, of course, doing typical heel tactics with Carrillo basically just sitting there like he was more so of observers going on, since obviously he's trying to take, their suggestions for advice. Of course, it did lead to times when, Carrillo got in doing his usual stuff. And at one time, he literally went to the top rope. And, of course, we all know that I was a little squirrel there, that Drew Gulak, has a history of being against high flying and whatnot. Because obviously, he feels like, probably that high flying is a threat to, to him. So he can't handle high flyers. Well, that's, of course, storyline is what he's pretty much saying. But so he actually at one point goes to help Carrillo, But then, of course, obviously it did not work out. And probably, of course, has Drew once again going, okay, no, not this anymore. So towards the end of the match, Carrillo goes to do like his big finisher off the top rope, but then he's like, get down. That's not what we do. That's not what we talked about. You can't do that. He's like, I'm just doing my job. No, that's not what we do here. He's like, all right, fine, whatever. But based off of that, Kalisto, Salida del Sol out of nowhere, he goes to do it as he's flipping over the rope. He kicks Gulak in the face, and Gulak falls back and knocks into Gallagher. And of course, that he was able to hit the Salida del Sol on Carrillo. 1, 2, 3. They get the win. Of course, afterwards, Gulak and Gallagher Gulak and Carrillo are arguing in the ring. Gallagher's trying to play, peacemaker and whatnot. But obviously, this is going to eventually lead to a match with Carrillo and Gulak, which fine me definitely. The story is simple to the point, basically, and just what it needs to be basically to try to give something for Carrillo do, who again has definitely been pretty impressed with me so far. Definitely very interested in seeing what Carrillo can do more so in the ring, since he seems pretty agile. Backstage, you see the Canellises talking about how Mike is better than the best. He shrugs off a suggestion that Maria helped him win last week. And Maria says anyone who doesn't see his greatness is a hater. And he's like, speaking of haters, not Gulak, Drake Maverick rolls. I was like, haters? I'm not hating, Mike. If using your wife first off, he says, I'm happy for you that it took you 16 years to realize that if it took using your wife to get victories, he's all for it. But you should appreciate him for the fact that he stopped Akira Tozawa from wanting to, hunt down Mike and put his head through a windshield. So Sell in the ring still. He booked a rematch for next week, of course, with Maria, of course, being at ringside for Mike. And in Tozawa's corner at ringside next week, of course, will be the Brian Kendrick. So the rematch next week. We'll see where this goes. Continue on for Mike and Else. And also, this is a nice promo I got here. Buddy Murphy was at the Performance Center saying he's there to protect Tony Nese and his title match. He knows Tony is coming for revenge. He doesn't want to hurt him. The attack last week was just a warning, and he thinks Nese is great, but he's the greatest cruiserweight of all time. As, of course, he's talking, though, you see people walking behind him, basically, obviously at the Performance Center. And at one point, you do see Tony Nese walking down the hallway, looking in there, seeing Murphy, and Murphy keeps talking about, okay, there's obviously something going to happen here. And then, bam, they start brawling with each other from the side. Of course, referees, go to break them up. And Tony's screaming out, hey, buddy, you're only here because of me, basically, or something like that. So just continue to build for their match at WrestleMania, which should be good again. I'm still not sure though if they're going with Tony Nese as a full-on babyface though, because last year when they tried doing that with the stuff with him, Gulak, and Mark Andrews, it looked like that they were going to be turning Tony Nese face, but ended up not being a face turn. Like 2 weeks later, they made him back to being a heel again. So I want to wait just to be safe. I mean, I know he shook Alexander's hand in their match last week, but just want to wait on that turn just to be safe. They are going to go with a babyface Tony Nese for long term. It's going to be just brief. We'll wait and see what happens. If it's going to be just a heel on heel feud though, but I'm sure it might be a face. He might be a face event, especially if they're going to be in Long Island, New York. So it's kind of going to be like a hometown win for him basically at WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens. I'll wait on the Tony Nese face turn, and then we get our main event. Well, out comes the competitors, which are Cedric Alexander and Arya Daivari. Obviously, again, Daivari, it's come back. And as I said before, I'm a little more interested in Daivari now than I was when he was first around. When he was first around, again, he was basically, as someone put it, as the Kurt Hawkins of the Cruiserweight division. But he came back. I was liking what he did with the day with Tommy until, of course, Tommy requested his release and left WWE, so they had to cut that short. But that alliance is actually really digging me. So now Daivari is on his own and is looking to make a statement with his own. Of course, throwing him against Alexander was interesting. I wouldn't throw him against a big name yet. But the interesting part of this match though wasn't completely Arya Daivari. Before the match starts, out comes the guy who faced Cedric Alexander in the semifinals of the #1 Contenders tournament, Oney Lorcan. Now again, I like Oney Lorcan. He was a great. Well, I say he was. So I don't know if he's going to continue in NXT or not. But Oney, has always been a good talent. I liked his team with him and Danny Burch in NXT. I don't know if that's still going to be a thing now since what we saw here tonight. And if Danny Burch is going to focus more on NXT UK, who knows? So Oney Lorcan comes out. He puts his finger up for a second, and he puts it down, as he usually does. And then he goes to sit down by commentary, but he doesn't put a headset on. He's sitting up pretty close to the ring. And he takes off his jacket. Underneath is a shirt that says, Oney Rules. Okay, so he's there watching the match, just staring down Cedric Alexander. And the match was not too bad. I still feel Alexander was a little bit of too big of a name to try to throw Daivari against. Although the turning point, Daivari has some good spots in there for sure. It's again, I'm definitely becoming a little more of a fan of his, but I just feel like they could have given a couple, like one or two other matches against like someone else that before throwing him in this big man match basically with him. But the turning point came though in this match where Alexander does like a moonsault on Daivari in front of Oney Lorcan. And then Alexander just happens to use the table to get up. And he knocks Lorcan's jacket off the table. And Lorcan starts just flipping out at him, just going like, you knocked my jacket! How could you do this to my jacket? You knocked my jacket on the ground and whatnot. He's freaking out over a jacket. It was ridiculous, but it was funny. So he gets back into the ring, and Lorcan is still yelling at him. And then Daivari is right behind, sneaks up, does a schoolboy roll-up on him to get the victory. And then, of course, Alexander is staring down. He can't believe that Daivari has just snuck a victory over him. But then after the match, you see Oney Lorcan and sneaking from behind, and he starts attacking Cedric Alexander, just brawling at him. Having this weird-sounding grunt as well. Of course, gets to the ring. Alexander got some offense in on him, too. And as they're breaking them up, you hear Oney Lorcan screaming out, "You took away my dream! You took away my dream!" Again, I think if Robbie's in the live chat, I'm pretty sure this would be another one of my newest, catchphrases. He took away my dream! As he was just pissed off. And then as soon as Cooler Head goes like, I'm sorry. And then he kind of got a little bit of an opening with him and Alexander. All of a sudden, bam, there's a cheap shot right into Alexander's face, knocking Alexander down. That broke him up. So obviously, they're saying on commentary that, they've been talking backstage. Apparently, there's been talks of Lorcan, working on a deal to stay with 205 Live longer. Well, storyline-wise also. So he's staying. Like he's going after the man who obviously, ended his run in the number one contenders tournament. So we'll see how it goes. I'll do the tournament for Oney Lorcan tonight also, but so Oney Lorcan's staying. So again, I'm not saying I was against him getting this opportunity, but again, I just thought there was a couple other names I would prefer over Oney Lorcan being a single star now, but we'll see where it goes. Again, Triple H is in charge of him, so we'll see, how it goes here. And I believe he can, put some interesting stuff on 205 Live. So yeah, Oney Lorcan's a heel now. We'll talk about it, of course, on tournament, guys, and that's the show. Give it a beat. Not a bad show at all. I enjoyed it. What grade was your 205 Live? Let's leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And be sure as always to click my like and subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManEver93. And guys, I will be back up here. Of course, we'll see my tournament tonight for Oney Lorcan. And also, I'll be back up here tomorrow for my live reviews of NXT UK and NXT. So guys, thanks for joining me live again twice tonight. I will see you guys all later. Have a great rest of your night. And peace out, everybody.